Hello,
Natasha,
Natasha. Yes,
Natasha, hello.
Natasha.
What a
Hello.
marvelous background you have.
Thank you. I love colors.
That shows.
I
It's
I've
in
heard.
stark contrast to my rather minimalist
Okay,
background.
I've heard for you for the first time 1 week ago. I would like to say that I really resonate with every word you say. Uh, so I would really like to live that what you are saying during daily life. So I have two questions. Maybe first one, how during daily life, how to develop, improve our life to be aware of being, resting in being, and not to live life from mind when daily activities
Okay.
pull us inside.
Natasha, you know when you're watching a movie,
Yes.
that most of the time the drama of the movie absorbs your attention
Okay.
and you lose yourself in it. It's so terrifying or exciting, or you lose yourself in it, and you forget that you're just seeing a screen. You
Yes.
overlook the screen. It's exactly the same. Most of the time, our attention is absorbed or lost in the drama of experience. Our thoughts, feelings, perceptions, activities, relationships, the sights, sounds, tastes, etc. And as a result of that, we overlook the background of being, the screen of being. But that doesn't mean that it's not present. When you overlook the screen in a movie, the screen hasn't disappeared. It's always there.
Yes.
It's the same with being. And it's just a very, very subtle shift of attention. It's like, it's not really taking a step back, but it's like taking a step back from the foreground of your experience. By the foreground of experience, I mean thoughts, images, feelings, and sensations, and so on. Just taking a step back into your being. Like now, let's do it now, Natasha. You're listening to my voice, you're experiencing your own thoughts, maybe there are some feelings, there's the perceptions of your own. All of this is the content of your experience. But as we're talking now, just remain aware of being. Yeah, just keep on keep on talking, keep on having the conversation, but you just remain in your being. Don't give yourself away completely to experience. You just remain in your being.
Yeah, that's hard for me. That's why I
No,
asked.
no, 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 no. Don't tell yourself it's hard. That's just repeating an old story. It's so easy.
Okay.
It's so easy. You're looking at my face on your screen, yes? Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is it hard to see the screen?
No.
But when I do this, does it make it more difficult to see the screen? Is it more difficult to see the screen now? No,
Yeah, just
you're
attention.
always seeing the screen.
Attention goes
It's
from.
the same. And so now, are you aware of your being as we're having the conversation?
Yes. I
How
mean.
hard is it? How hard is it to be aware
Okay.
of your being? Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now let's imagine that now we're having a pleasant, easy, enjoyable conversation. But imagine that life was a little bit tougher. You were experiencing a difficult experience, a difficult relationship, a painful sensation. It so sometimes experience intensifies, and as a result, we lose touch with our being. But even then, your being is still there.
Just move our attention or awareness.
A little shift of attention, just a tiny shift of attention. You could say it's like the shift of attention that is required going from image to the screen. Now, it's true, when the image is as colourful as your background and as exotic and interesting and colourful as your background, it may seem a little bit difficult to take one step back to the transparent screen behind it. And it's the same when our experience is as colourful and demanding as your backdrop, all those flowers and colours and shapes. And when experience is that colourful, it may seem a little difficult to go back to the screen of being, but actually it's not difficult.
Yes.
And of course, the screen of being is not really behind your experience any more than your screen is behind the image of my face. Your screen pervades the image of my face. Being pervades experience. Or just get used to remaining in touch with being.
So, I mean, the best probably is to practice that.
It's a gentle practice, yes. It's just a gentle practice of remaining in touch with being.
Okay.
I was at Heathrow Airport recently, checking in just before my last trip to America. And just before I got to check in, the woman was checking my passport, and she said, "What do you do for a living?" I always rather dread that question, so I said something like, "Oh, I write," or something, some rather evasive answer. And then she said, "Oh, what do you write about?" So I said, "Oh, I write about philosophy and meditation." "Oh," she said, "I've never been able to meditate. Look at me." And she pointed to the queue. We were having this chat about while she was checking passports, and the queue was building up. She said, "Look at the queue here. I have to deal with all these people all day long. I can't possibly meditate." And I said, No, you can meditate all day long." And she said, "What do you mean I can meditate all day long? I can't possibly meditate all day long with a job like this. And what do you mean by meditation?" And I said to her, just remaining in touch with the feeling of being. Just remaining in touch with your being in the midst of experience. And she paused. And then this beautiful smile came over her face. And she just said, Is that what meditation is?" She said, "You mean I don't have to control my thoughts or stop my thoughts or focus on..." She said, "It's just remaining in touch with being." And I said, "Yes, just remaining with being, remaining in being, remaining as being." And I could see by the expression on her face, she got it. And then I passed on and
Great. Can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
During meditation, your meditation, for example, I'm not so sure if I am with my attention or awareness resting in my mind, which is maybe just quiet, or resting in my being. How can distinguish that? I mean, that you are not just resting in mind, which is maybe quiet, or resting in being.
Yes, because your being is, or awareness is present both in the presence of the activity of your mind and in the absence of any activity.
That's emptiness, like no qualities.
So, yes, in other words, don't just... Awareness is not a blank state of mind. A blank state of mind would be like an empty screensaver. Your screensaver is probably a very colourful flower garden, but my screensaver is just an empty blank screen. That's the difference between us. But so sometimes on my screen there are emails and images, and sometimes there's just a blank empty screen. But the real screen is equally present when there are emails and images or when there's the screensaver. Yes. So the screensaver is a blank empty mind. And you're quite right to make a distinction between a blank, empty mind, which is a state of the mind which comes and goes, and the real presence of awareness, which is ever present, both when there are thoughts and perceptions and in the absence of thoughts and perceptions.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Natasha.
Nice to meet you too, Rupert. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.